Buy cheap and safe NBA 2K22 MT at NBA2King.com. You can use code Excapar, that's EXCAPAR, for 5% off your entire purchase.
Alrighty, so we've gone through all the positions, and obviously the last one up is the center. So we have the best centers tier list out here with our wonderful Demon, Baby Demon, pretty damn solid, still decent hard pass tier. If you guys enjoy the video, the like button's down below. Comment if you guys want some guys to move up, move down, or they're just right. And check out the link in the description for the point guards through power forwards, and subscribe if you guys are new. So anyway, let's get into it. We always started off by just showing you guys everybody in the hard pass screens. It just makes the most sense. So there they are: Simbular, Shaquille O'Neal, Scott Pollard, Omir Yusufson. Hopefully I said that correctly. Nerlens Noel, Jorge Merson, Darko Milicic, and Daniel Gafford. Now, in general, I think a lot of these guys are pretty solid, but I wouldn't call any of them, like, next level. Like, Simbular is cool, but he's mainly kind of somebody that people still use just because he's kind of tall. Shaquille O'Neal is an exchange reward back to the basket center. I don't think you should be wasting anything in the exchange to get Shaq when you just have so many other options. Scott Pollard on the back to the basket big that I don't think we need. Like, there's a lot of guys who are good at rebounding and playing in the post. I don't think we need any of these guys. But honestly, that's the story with all these guys. All these guys are great defensive guys when it comes to being at the basket and rebounding and can kind of play in the post. But there's really nothing special about them except for Jorge Merson, who's 7'6". So, yeah, you know, that's how it goes. And then I'll show you guys still decent here as well. Where we have Taco Fall, who I will say is crazy good because they gave him juiced up finishing, like, and he is, you know, 7'5", has like an 8-foot wingspan. So his paint defense is crazy. Also, a Taco later in the year will literally let nobody score and nobody paint mash on him, so be scared of that. Sven Nader, meh. Ha Xungjin, hopefully I said that correctly, but he is a crazy post guy, like one of the best guys that I've really gone against in the post. If you have anybody who's lacking any sort of strength or anything like that, he is going to pup all over them, but outside of that, can't really hit anything but a midi, so not really a dub. Rudy Gobert, we all kind of know what he does. Great defender, you know, solid rebounder, but really you kind of pick up Rudy Gobert because he can slap the ball away from the basket, but, you know, nothing too special. Robert Williams is one of the back-to-the-basket bigs that actually has a bit of playmaking, like a really good passer, which is pretty nice, but I just don't think that it's anything crazy to really be picking him up, you know, out of those moments of the month and running him by himself, you know, as your starting center. Just not really too crazy. Mitchell Robinson's a great paint defender, but doesn't really give you too much on offense. Marvin Bagley was one of the best budget guys when we first got him, but it's just slowly falling down. He's good at everything, but doesn't really have a, you know, he's a jack of all trades, but master of none. And he's not really like a good jack of all trades. He's just a jack of all trades. Like, he can do a bit of everything, but he's not too crazy at it. So, you know, kind of sad. But a future Marvin Bagley card may be nice. Dino Raja, they got rid of one of the OP things with him, and, you know, his 7'11" wingspan at 6'11". And now it's like 7'3", which is, you know, his realistic wingspan. It's just sad to see. Dino Raja does have a nice jump shot forward. Doesn't really, you know, have the greatest of shooting, but he is a nice, you know, rebounder. Grabs something that you wouldn't expect him to do. Good finisher. And jump shot forward is pretty nice. So his midi is actually pretty money. Marcus Gambian, who a lot of people are struggling with getting his blocks. I haven't even attempted it to get Jason Tatum, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I think you have to do it in online. But aside from that, he is a good paint defender. It's just online, people like to chuck threes and not really go to the paint as much, which is why this can be challenged a little bit difficult. But he is a good post guy, slightly decent playmaker, could play a little bit. Artist Gilmore, great tall center who plays amazing defense, just doesn't really give you anything on offense. Aside from, you know what, a halfway decent midi, I will give him that, but I don't think it's enough to really move him up in the tiers. Andrew Bogut, another great defensive guy who I'm just not really excited about. Like, I don't know, I've never seen somebody excited about a Bogut card, and if you are, you know, good for you. I hope you run him to the best of your ability. And then last but not least, we have Andre Drummond. I think all of us have kind of, you know, watched how Andre Drummond plays. We know what the guy does. He is a post guy who doesn't shoot outside of like 10 feet from the basket and just gets boards. It just gets boards, man. Just gets boards. And he can catch a lot, which is nice, but it's not really what I'm looking to run at my center position. And that actually wraps up our bottom two tiers. Try to just breeze through those. We have the start of a pretty damn solid tier, which has my man Al Horford. Now, Al Horford, I actually think is a halfway decent card. Some people actually quite hate this Al Horford card, which I get. He does have a pretty awkward jumper, a pretty bad jumper, I'll say that. It's not too good. But I will say at the same time, he does have the ability to hit shots, which I do like, and he's a threat out there. He is a good post guy. He's a solid all-around defender, can even guard on the perimeter a bit. So you got to give Al Horford his love. Next up is the GOAT Wang Chi-Chi. Tuesday, a pink diamond Wang Chi-Chi is coming, and this guy is going to be disgusting. Like, he's going to be in the demons because jump shot 28 is godly. This dude is an amazing shooter as a big man. He's stupid tall, like I think 7'2" or something like that. Plays great in the post. Just all around is insane. Still one of the best Ruby centers in the entire game, like best budget centers in the game. And the fact that we're getting a pink diamond on Tuesday is going to be gross. So we know that because like 2K leaked it himself. If you go on the game right now, on the main page and just scroll through the stuff that shows like the packs that are out and stuff like that, the Chinese Lunar New Year is out there. Check it out. Next up is the Beast Thon Maker, who is an absolute demon when it comes to being an offensive center, but doesn't really have the greatest at defense. But if you want a guy who can just go out there, get some buckets, shoot from three, shoot from the midi, get inside a little bit, can even have play make slightly, Thon Maker's your guy. He's actually not bad. Patrick Ewing is next. Patrick Ewing is kind of like one of those guys who is so good in the post and so good kind of like defensively that you can kind of get away with the fact that he's not maybe the most insane shooter. He does have a pretty bad release, but he has the ability to hit it from deep if you are, wide up into the corner and things like that, which is pretty nice for Patrick Ewing. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I love his card art, but all in all, I don't think he's that bad. The jumper just kind of sucks. Next up is a card who is hoed by the lack of badges, and that is Mo Bamba. Ruby Mo Bamba is great. The dude is a solid shooter. He's a great defender, has a massive wingspan, so he can just slap shots away. Can kind of play in the post, and again, I love the fact that he can still step it out and consistently shoot, even though it is a bit of a slow release. They just didn't really give him a lot of badges to make him next level, which I understand, because if they gave this Mo Bamba, a good amount of badges, he definitely could be in the baby demon or demon tier, but all around, he's still a pretty damn solid center. Next up is my man Bill Walton. I don't know, like I heard already filled up this still decent tier, and then I still had to have somewhere to put Bill Walton, so I just moved him up. If I'm being 100% honest with you, but I will say Bill Walton's really not that bad. I mean, he has a pretty decent jumper, the same one as Ricky Rubio, which allows you to hit his 74-3 a little bit more consistently and make him money from the mid if you give him, catch and shoot and stuff like that. But he is a center that does have Hall of Fame bullet passer and dimer, so a really great playmaker at that center position, which is always pretty nice. Not the slowest. I won't say he's anything crazy, but he's not bad. Next up is my man Dwight Howard, the most athletic center that I've ever used, going against or anything like that in the game. Like, this guy is just crazy. Dwight can dunk over anybody. He can grab rebounds that he really shouldn't be able to, and plays absolutely amazing defense. You'll just notice that he has a 66 midi and a 44 shot three, which is always pretty tough. All around, I think Dwight is pretty solid, but nothing crazy. Although hopefully we get like a Opal, Dark Matter or something, later in the year that gives Dwight a pretty good three-point shot, and I trust. I think that White will actually be a beast once that happens. Next up is my man Dave Collins, who's again another one of those guys who's just kind of jack of all trades. He's slightly an undersized center, which is kind of nice if you like, quicker, run it down. But it does mean he can get back down in the paint a little bit, and jump shot one isn't the craziest, so shooting can be a little bit tough. But all around, Dave Collins is actually pretty solid. Next up is my man Clickapella, just a back to the basket. I'm not shooting anything outside. I am just blocking shots kind of guy. And I will say, I've gone against this Clickapella quite a few times. And while he only has, a 76 shot three and really can't shoot, this dude is hard to score on, man. Hard to score on. And it's probably because, he has Hall of Fame box, Intimidator, Brick Wall, Pogo, post with lockdown and rim protector. He has gold clamps as well, which is pretty crazy. When it comes to defensive centers, I think Clickapella is definitely far up there, so I had to show him some love. Next up is my man Christian Wood, kind of the opposite, where we're all kind of offense. Christian Wood is kind of one of those guys who you like because he has that Ray Allen base, can shoot it pretty nice, and just be kind of like a stretch big for you that can still rebound and kind of play defense. So it's kind of like, what do you like out of your center position? Overall, I think Christian Wood is solid. I just wouldn't call him like, next level. And actually, last but not least, is going to be my man, Andrea Bargnani. Now, ooh, let me move that card over a little bit. There we go. Now, I know some people actually kind of hate this Andrea Bargnani, and that's because the Amari Stoudemire jumper is definitely not a fast jumper, but I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. The fact that he can stretch out the floor and pretty consistently hit his shots is pretty nice, but Andrea Bargnani's, I guess, bad thing is that he's not really the greatest of defenders. He can play defense, but not really going to be jumping out there, getting blocks, getting steals, anything like that for you, but he's really good in the post, and he can stretch the floor and be a good shooter, which is, all right. And in saying that the Amari Stoudemire's jumper is bad, it's because it's easy to contest, but it's pretty easy to green at the same time. Next up is my man Wes Antel, because I love the Kobe Bryant base, so I just love Wes Antel. Plus, he's another playmaking big man, which I love. Because Wes Antel is 6'7", you can run him at that power forward position, and he's an absolute demon out there because he can literally do everything. The dude is a great shooter. Yeah, 78 shot 3, Kobe Bryant base, super easy to time. He's an amazing finisher, has an 85 speed all around, has solid defense in the paint and on the perimeter, just all around. Wes Antel is great, just as a power forward, not as a center. Next up is Pink Diamond Shaquille O'Neal, who is an absolute menace, mind you. And oh my god, look at that beautiful, beautiful card art. Like, it looks godly. Now, I use this card art just because I can't, like, you know, save the 97 Evo or 96 Evo Shaq. But Shaq is a 7'1 center, 7'7 wingspan, 325. And once you Evo him up, actually gets a 90 midi with Hall of Fame set shooter, which is pretty solid, and still keeps his crazy defense and a crazy good finishing. So you got to give love for that. Having a Shaq with a 90 mid-range and only a 55 3-point shot, I think is the perfect way to kind of balance out a Shaquille O'Neal card, because he's still amazing at what he does at, but it's a little bit more versatile. And having an 84 speed on a 71 or 7'1 center is crazy. Next up is my man Nikola Vusavich, who is a damn alright defender, and just a really good shooter, man. Nikola Vusavich is one of those guys who I had starting at my center position for quite a long time, and was just really good at spacing the floor, hitting shots very consistently, and still was a really good post presence for me. He is a bit slow, but he has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, set shooter, and sniper, so if you get any sort of open, the dude is going to be smacking it out. Plus, he has bullet passer and dimer along with needle threader, so he was a really good playmaker, could really get it into some certain places whenever I was running the pick and pop, whenever I needed it to, and I didn't ever feel like Vusavich was lacking on the offensive end. It's just sometimes on defense, people would drop step and he'd get thrown away, which is no ideal. Next up is my man Kevin Mchale, who is actually a pretty great center. I know some people do like this Kevin Mchale card. I'm just not the most massive fan, but he is 6'10", 7'11" wingspan, and is a post god and defensive god. Now, the only thing you'll notice is that he's a bit baited when it comes to his jumper. That's really about it with Mchale as far as negatives, but I think that bit baited is a bit tough. So, you know, there's that. Plus, you have to add quite a few badges to really, like, I don't know, make him next level. Like, he doesn't have sniper. Like, his only badges in shooting are catch and shoot, corner, and set shooter. He also doesn't have posterizer, pro touch, slithery, unstrippable. Like, that's kind of tough, but overall, not bad. And he also only comes with bronze clams. But Kevin Mchale is pretty good. I do suspect that we get, like, a later version. You know, the set shot 3 on very quick might not be too bad. Next up is my man George Miken, who is actually a glitched version. I'm just, you know, doing the 75th anniversary card because I think it looks nice. But George Miken is just a demon, man. His glitch was getting athleticism, and the dude is lightning quick. He dunks on everybody. Jump shot 4 means he's money from the 3-point line. He's stupid fast going down the court, and his defensive badges are actually pretty solid. The way that I like to explain George Miken is offensively he's crazy, but on defense you're not going to get any of those highlight plays like blocks, steals, anything like that. But he's just going to play good defense enough to alter shots and make people miss, and I really like that out of George Miken. It's just enough so that people are going to miss their shots, you can get the boards and move it down, but he's not really going to be jumping out of his socks getting blocks, but he will be jumping out of his socks to dunk on people. Next up is my man DeMarcus Cousins, Big Boogie, my guy. Probably one of my most regretted decisions this year was locking in Boogie, because I was like 300K that I wish I kind of had right now. But, you know, Boogie is 6'10", 7'5" wingspan, and is a great post guy. It's not to say Boogie's bad, I just have better centers now, like Deandre Ayton for free. But Boogie is just an all-offense kind of guy who still has some solid defense. I love the Hall of Fame box. Set shot 8 is super easy to time, and all around he's actually pretty damn good. I've just had to add, like, you know, Deadeye, blinders, quick first step, things like that. Or not quick first step. Clams, interceptor to really make my Boogie, you know, next level and competitive, but he still is a damn good center. Next up, Dikembe Mutombo. I always just like go in between whether or not I feel like this Dikembe is up in like the mid tiers or the top tiers or the mid tiers or the top tiers. I put him up in Baby Demon today. I'm calling it. He was one of our first tall shooting centers, which obviously sometimes doesn't make him the greatest. But Dikembe's really only flaw right now is the fact that he has a 64 speed and not the greatest of jumpers. But if he boosts up his sniper up to gold, the dude has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, corner, and set shooter, can still consistently hit. You give him posterizer, and he's a great finishing guy, and he's a solid all-around defender, man. The only thing that sucks is a bad jumper, and he's slow. Like, you can get around that, especially with this Eric Snow duo. Gives him a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it actually makes him pretty solid. You can run those two together and be pretty nice. Next up is my man Chris Anderson, the Birdman flying through. Birdman is actually pretty solid, man. He's fun. He's a fun card. I think that's what's nice about Chris Anderson is that, yeah, he's not one of the best centers, but he's a really fun center. 6'10", 7'2" wingspan. He can fly through, dunk on everybody. He's a pretty solid defender. He can still shoot with jump shot 35. It's solid. It's good. It's nice. And he's pretty fast as well. Chris Anderson is just a fun center that can be nice to just chuck up lobs and say, hey, catch that. Let's see what happens. Next up is my man Brook Lopez. You can think of Brook Lopez as just a pure 3-and-D kind of center. He plays great defense in the paint, not really on the perimeter though. And with his Brook Lopez base is a money of a shooter. That's really what Brook Lopez is here for. Splash Mountain is in the building. And last but not least, for our baby demons here, we have Bob Mcadoo, who is like a baby Giannis, honestly. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, 97 offense, 94 defensive overall. He is a great finisher. He's a really damn good defender. And he's a solid playmaker as well. Only problem is a 63 shot 3 and jump shot 5 can be pretty tough. So what you kind of have to do is give him sniper, give him dead eye, you know, things like that to really make it better. And then once you do, with how great he is everywhere else, you'll be perfectly fine. He's essentially, you know, Giannis, which is always a good card to have on your squad. And now wrapping it up with our demons tier, we're starting off with Yao Ming. I know some people are saying that Yao Ming's overrated, probably because people are talking about him like he's the next coming of Jesus, and instead he's just a pretty damn solid, you know, center. Some people I think are overrating the fact that he's a bit slow. Yes, the 68 speed sucks, but when you're 7 foot damn 6 with a 7'9" wingspan, it's not too bad. Plus, Yao's gonna be one of the best guys in the post as long as you add unshippable to him, so he doesn't lose the ball out there. And still has a 78 shot 3, so he can be a damn good shooter and a damn good paint defender. Yao is still one of the best, although he may not be like the #1 center. I clicked that a little fast, but the next up is Pink Diamond Kristaps Porzingis. I don't think there's really an argument about this. Kristaps is the best shooting center in the game, and it's really not up for debate. The Brook Lopez base is absolutely crazy. Then he has Hall of Fame catch, deadeye, limitless, difficult shot, set, shooter, sniper. Like, it is crazy. Still is a pretty solid defender, although not like next level, and a solid finisher. Plus, I love the Brook Lopez base. I love Porzingis. He's a damn fun card, man. Next up, the new Galaxy hopeful Joel Embiid, who's been having himself a season, by the way. Oh, my lord. But Joel is a 7-foot center with a 7'5" wingspan, also a 97 offense and 99 defensive overall. So, like, low-key, you could say that he's basically a dark matter at this point with the badges that he's got. But Joel Embiid, best defensive center in the game, honestly, right now, has honestly the best post game of the game as well, and still comes to Hall of Fame catch and shoot, set shooter, gold deadeye, gold sniper, jump shot 47, which is super easy to time, has solid playmaking as well, coming with quick first step, bullet passer, downhill. Like, it is crazy what Joel Embiid can do. Just an all-around great card, and if you actually give him the Steph Curry coach boost, he's a 93 shot 3. Yeah, Joel's a god. Next up is Akima Elijah, the first like super cheesy, you know, center that we got. Just like Joel Embiid, Akima Elijah is just absolutely insane at everything and is just damn good. He's a lock and reward, so I do not recommend getting him like at all. But if you do, Hakeem is definitely one of the best centers. Next up is my man Deandre, and what he can do for a free center is absolutely crazy. Currently, I think my bench center, because I'm running, you know, Maurice Lucas and Serge Ibaka as like my starters, and I want defense off the bench with Ayton. But that's what Ayton's good at. 7'1", 7'4" wingspan, but a 99 defensive overall. The guy has Hall of Fame interceptor, brick wall, intimidator, box, rebound chaser, rim protector, comes with gold clamps, and it's just a lockdown defender. Plus, once you add sniper to him, jump shot 112, while slow, is a really easy jumper at a time, and they gave him downhill and quick first step for some reason, which helps his 79 speed. All around, Deandre Ayton is an absolute beast. If you're somebody who is, you know, a no money spent player or just want a better center, pick up Deandre Ayton. He's the best free center right now, period. Next up is my man David Robinson, still sitting atop the best of the best centers in the game. You can't knock how great D-Rob is on defense, how great he is on the post, how versatile he is, how quick he is, and how good his jumper is to time despite not having the most insane badges. Like, David Robinson, still one of the best centers in the game, and it's not really up for debate. And last but not least is my man Bill Russell, who I think is like a king other than, you know, Josh Smith, at being that all-around center that you want to run. If you just want to be undersized, be really fast, and just be great. Because Bill Russell has 85s in his speed. He's one of the best all-around defenders in the entire game. Still has his post game, and because he was, you know, the cryogenesis, which is really just iced out glitch, he has Hall of Fame catch and shoot in corner, gold limitless, gold sniper, silver deadeye, an 88 shot 3, and while set shot 17 sucks, you can still make it perfectly fine if you just time your jumpers right. All around, yeah, Bill Russell's a demon. So, either way, here is our best centers tier list. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. If you guys want me to move some guys up, move some guys down, and everything else in between, down there, hit the like button if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow, most likely, with the overall best cards tier list, which I'm kind of dreading because it's a big list, but we'll see how it goes. Again, hope you guys have a great day. See y'all in the next video.